Hello, I'm Dr. Greg Williams with Independence Science. I am blind and also have a PhD in computational chemistry. We are here at the Washington State School for the Blind, and in this video, we will be discussing how to safely organize and set up a laboratory bench for students who are blind or have low vision. Traditionally, in the science classroom, students who are blind or have low vision have been relegated to the role of passive observer or group secretary. However, we believe that in order for students to succeed in the sciences, it is important that they have a hands-on learning experience. This leads to greater concept development and increased interest in the presented material. As a Chinese proverb says, "Tell me and I'll forget. Show me and I'll remember. Involve me and I'll understand." Before you begin any experiment, there is a certain amount of preparation which must take place. Most importantly, there must be open lines of communication between the student, TVI, and the science teacher. Secondly, the students must take the responsibility of familiarizing themselves with the lab procedures before entering the classroom. This allows them to clear up any questions with the science teacher before the lab period begins, and also to understand any adaptive techniques which must be used. Safety is the #1 concern in the science classroom. Laboratory hazards do not discriminate. Therefore, it is imperative that every student know and follow the same laboratory safety procedures. This begins by becoming acquainted with the layout of the classroom, including knowing where lab benches and other materials are located. In every science classroom, there is a safety shower and eye wash in case of chemical accidents. Every student must know how to operate this equipment and where to find it. To protect yourself from chemical spills or burns, there are certain precautions which must be taken. A lab coat or apron should be worn to protect clothing and skin. Goggles are used to protect your eyes, and a hair tie is used to keep your hair out of the way. It is also mandatory that there be no running or horseplay in the science lab. There will be a basic set of equipment used to complete any science experiment. This includes glass or plastic beakers, test tubes, graduated cylinders, ring stands, a balance, chemicals, and cleanup supplies. For the student who is blind or low vision, there are a few other essential items: a lab tray, funnels and notched syringes for measuring, a talking LabQuest for data collection, and a computer for data analysis. It is essential that the lab bench be consistently laid out for the student each period. If working with a lab partner, the same system of organization must be used. A lab tray is used to define the workspace and to contain any spills or overflow. There should be a consistent order of positioning beakers, test tubes, and bottles on the tray, and each should be properly labeled. Place aluminum foil underneath the balance to aid in cleanup and to alert the student to any spills. A tennis ball should be placed on top of the ring stand to provide a visual indicator as well as to prevent injury. A trash can and paper towels should be located in close proximity to the lab bench. Lastly, a computer or any other technology should be placed on a book or other material to prevent damage from accidental spills. At the edge of our lab bench are the sink and paper towels. Immediately to the left of the sink are the gas jets, which should remain off unless specifically told otherwise. Between the gas jets and the edge of the lab bench is the ring stand. In the center of the lab bench is our lab tray with beakers and graduated cylinders arranged on it. This is the central workspace of the bench. Farther beyond the tray are funnels, notched syringes, and other materials which vary depending upon the experiment. Immediately to the left of the tray is the talking LabQuest, which is used for data collection. Attached to our talking LabQuest is a temperature sensor, but this will change depending upon what the experiment calls for. For instance, a pH sensor or voltage meter may be required. The LabQuest can be elevated, but is designed to be resistant to spills. To the left of the talking LabQuest is an electronic balance with aluminum foil underneath. And to the far left of the lab bench, on top of a book, is a computer, which in our case is running WindowEyes and Logger Pro to analyze collected data. This is our recommended lab bench setup, but it should be adapted based on experimental requirements and available space. The final and most important step of any experiment is cleanup. Wash out all glassware, wipe down the lab table, and ensure that the bench is restored to pre-lab organization. Follow all safety procedures when disposing of chemicals. Ask your teacher for specific cleanup guidelines and to verify that the bench is in proper order. Now that you know how to properly and safely set up a lab bench, view our next video to learn how to use adaptive techniques and technologies to conduct science experiments. Thank you for joining Independence Science and the Washington State School for the Blind. If you have any further questions about accessible science for the blind, please email me at info@independencescience.com.